Hello, Leo, and welcome. I'm Adriana. I'm a soul guidance coach. I help you choose growth and the healing of your inner roots. I have an intuitive message for you today, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do an inside-outside message that will look at your inner world as well as your outer world. Ooh, okay, interesting. Okay. Oh, oh, Leo. All right. So I want to say I'm doing this reading for you to point out the energies that I am seeing in this moment. Having the awareness that I give you in this moment can shift these energies. So this is not fatalistic or fortune telling. This is informative so that you can change if you want to. Okay. Now, what we are seeing is that fulfillment is eluding you. Eluding, yeah, with an E. It's not coming to your door. We've got 9 of Cups and we've got 4 of Wands on the other side. This is optimism. This one is fulfillment. So, on one hand, you're trying to stay positive. You're trying to say, well, I've taken some steps. I've done the work. I know that I'm headed in the right direction. And you're really trying hard to believe that. But you're seeing or doubting perhaps that in the long term, this may not be the case. Okay, because fulfillment, where everything comes true and you're finally at the end and everything has worked out exactly as you want, that's not lined up with this card. If we had this, then we would be saying, yes, you're on your way. You see how these prairie dogs are facing the moose. But that's not when we have their back to back and they're moving away from each other. So you're holding on to this shred of hope, but inside, this course you're on is not going to lead to that fulfillment that you're truly looking for. So, like I said, Leo, this is not fatalistic. This is something you can shift. Now, this is really interesting because we have the Mother of Arrows, Queen of Swords, Father of Horns, King of Cups. So there's several layers going on with these two. And you also notice they're a bit back to back as well, kind of, this one's facing us and this one is facing out. So there's a little bit of turning. Head and heart are not in the same alignment. What the head is looking at and the head is looking for doesn't match the heart. The heart is trying to get there. It's him turning forward a little bit. So it's trying to shift over to what the head is seeing, the vision that the head wants, but it's not fully there. And the heart, the King of Horns, this is really funny because usually we kind of think head is more masculine, heart is more feminine, but they've flipped it on us. They've given us a feminine head and a masculine heart. So this is kind of funny, Leo. I'm not quite sure why they did that, so we'll find out in a second. This Father of Horns says that there are emotional issues. There are emotional, I'm just going to say emotional energy that feels unresolved, that feels frustrated isn't the right word. What is it that I'm feeling here? It feels very uncertain. And it feels like there's some angst, anxiety in there, some just worry that, maybe the head is correct. And so the heart is not at home right now. It's not settled. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there's a crocodile in this water. So these emotions are not the constructive, flowing, happy emotions. These are stormier emotions. And you may be keeping a very calm face on. You may be showing up to others. Yes, I'm very confident. I know what I'm doing. But inside, there's all of this other processing going on. There's all of this other stuff. And the head and the heart just aren't talking. So your heart is trying to say one thing to you. and the head refuses to listen to it. The head is trying to dictate where the heart should go, and the heart is resisting. You see the stormy clouds in the air? So even the water has come up into the air. The thoughts, the emotions have come up into the air, and they're not happy there. So you do feel this pull, like, am I doing the right thing? Did I make the right choice? You're trying to convince yourself in the outside with our 4 here. You're trying to convince yourself that, yeah, you have done the right thing, you're on the right track. But inside you don't totally believe it. You really don't believe it. So when we look at it this way with all 4, the mind is focused on what it thinks will bring it fulfillment, right? But it's trying to go from air into water. It's trying to go from the mind into the feeling and the emotion. It's not how it works, Leo. The feeling and the emotion, the mind cannot fabricate a feeling or emotion. The mind can understand and recognize the feeling, but the feeling arises within you. Now, I want to back up, because there is this idea that thoughts do create your feelings, and that's true to some extent. But there are subconscious feelings that arise due to thoughts we don't even know we're having. And what I'm feeling here is that the head is trying to force your heart to believe something. That's what I'm feeling most. Okay. I do not normally do this on this kind of reading, but this is so specific that I am going to ask for advice on how you can shift this if you want to. No, this is free will. You don't have to, but I'm going to figure out. Okay, Father of Arrows. So the mate shows up, and equilibrium. 2 of Pentacles. Okay. Leo, you have to drop the one-sided. You have to drop thinking that the head is going to solve the whole thing. You have to drop thinking that the mind has all the answers. In the truth of things, it's the give and take between above and below, between the heart and the head. It's a feedback. It's a circuit, I should say. This is a feedback loop. So the heart talks to the head talks to the heart. If the head starts to feel an emotion, starts to sense an emotion from the heart that feels off, the head needs to say, okay, heart, what's going on? If the heart hears the thought that it really doesn't like, it needs to send feedback to the body. They work together. Right now, you're trying to keep them apart because what they're feeling is so stark. You know, what the head is believing is so different than what the heart is feeling. So equilibrium talks about give and take. We have bunny coming out, going to a fox, I think, or a wolf, not sure. And then he comes in. So it's cycle of life. And we also have this lovely DNA above and below. This is about understanding the blend of the 2. If you continue to go the way you're going, then we've got this Father of Arrows, which says you will be someone who's looking out just for yourself, just for your own benefit. You'll be doing what you think is right. You'll be acting in the way that is right, but it will not be compassionate. It will not be kind. It will not be the type of energy that flows and inspires and helps others. It will be an energy that is focused on just itself. And the other thing that is so difficult is when the mind gets hold of an idea, it has so much pride and investment in believing that it's correct, believing that it's right. And these cards are gently asking you to say, okay, let's back up and let's make sure that this right feeling in my head is really coming from a connected place to my heart. You see that I love this flow of gradated color in the background. It all works together. It's not starkly separate like you see with this card, all the separation between him and others. This is a much more integrated, whole kind of looking card. So, okay, you know, they're telling me to draw one more card. I hope I'm going to have enough cards left in my deck today. Okay, power. Your head and your heart are equally strong. I understand that. I see that. But instead of fighting each other, they need to be understanding that they're on the same team with you. And when they're working in harmony, you are unstoppable and you are going to be so much more powerful than you find yourself now. Okay. All right, Leo. You know, my guys are saying something else with this card, so let's stay with it for a second. Okay, this is saying that actually bringing these two giants, the head and the heart, together will feel like a bit of a challenge to you, which is actually going to be exciting. So think of this as an exciting challenge that you know is going to be worth it in the end. Okay, I think we're going to end there. Thanks so much, Leo. If you have something that you're excited to work on as well, please let me know in the comments. And if you have something else to say, that's awesome too. So if you're interested to learn more about what I do and how I can help you even further, please check out the description below. And if you have been trying to sign up for my newsletter through the website, I just fixed the glitch a couple days ago, so it should work now. I send out newsletters just once a month and just a little something special to make the day even better. I look forward to seeing you next time, Leo.